So the new gallery we're about to open is called Ghost Town. It tells the story of the end of the motor car industry, the large motor car industry in Coventry, from 1980 till 2010 to the present. And we've decided to tell this story because the museum has a chronological backbone, if you like. We begin in 1868 when the first cycles were made in the city, and we progress through to today and sort of the end of the industry in the city. So this gallery is actually about finishing the story of Coventry's involvement with road transport.
Older people, my age, or even younger than me, will be able to refresh their memories of the great days of the industry here. And for young people, it will teach them the all-important thing about the past, which we must never forget. And so I now take great pleasure in walking over there and declaring the exhibition open.
The whole purpose of the Ghost Town exhibition was to get visitors to think about why the industry has gone from the city. And we wanted to do that in a way that was quite fresh and, what's the phrase, in your face, if you like. So we actually chose a design concept which is having lots of big bold newspaper headlines all over the walls. And when you see the gallery, it really works. You get the whole story literally in black and white. You know, some of it could be a bit challenging, some of the headlines, some people might not agree with what the newspapers have said, but it's a great way that the museum has used it to tell a balanced view of the period.
It's not really like very many other galleries to any other gallery that I've been in that it does just present the information. You know, it doesn't kind of offer up any opinions of its own. It just gives you the information and lets you make of it what you will, really.
I think it's so important to have somewhere like this, so people look back, realise, remember how important the motor industry was in Coventry and really what happened and why.
I think the exhibition is a very excellent move forward in time, and I'm particularly excited by this whole investment in the marketing of the museum and the excellent way in which it's being presented to the public.
There's a lot to take in, you know, and I find that quite a nice thing. I like being immersed in it. That's what I quite like, being immersed in all of history.
When we were putting this gallery together, I was thinking about, you know, how could we tell this story? So I put an appeal out for people who'd worked in the industry, in the local paper, and I got a number of people to come forward, and we talked to them, Coventry people who'd worked in the car factories, who'd worked in the industry.
It's a funny feeling when you know everybody's going to lose their job.
And their stories are the inspiration for this gallery. So I think really we ought to be thanking the Coventry people who have inspired this gallery.
It's a bit like a trip down memory lane, really, because I used to work at Peugeot and I was made redundant when it closed recently. So I'm looking at some pictures now of equipment that I put in and some of the people I used to work with. It's a good idea. It's a bit of a sad theme though, really. You should tell history as it is, and it's not always happy.
The exhibition itself is very modern looking, you know, with the newspapers on the wall. It's very clean, very sharp-edged and clinical. But then at one point you actually walk from the main gallery into a reconstruction of the executive dining room at the Peugeot factory at Ryton. And in that room, we're actually going to get people to try and think about why Ryton closed in 2006. It's a difficult thing to do to get audiences to engage in that, but we think we've got a nice film in there that people can get engaged with, and then they're going to vote if they'd have been there in 2006, whether they'd have kept it open or closed it. And we hope that really gets people thinking about, you know, the situation, why the factory closed. We're not judging, we're just saying, you know, think and make up your own mind.
Claiming job seekers allowance, and we'll have to find the money for that. It's not just the Ryton people who will lose their jobs.
I think exhibition areas like Ghost Town mark really where museums should be now. Not just looking back and putting things in glass cases, but starting to challenge our own views of what's happened in the past, get us to understand, to get involved, and really appreciate what people went through and learn from that.